Hi, my name is Hannah, and today we're going to be talking about the Big Five personality traits. This is the most popular trait theory of personality in psychology, and it states that there are 5 central dimensions with which one can describe the human personality. So psychologists decided on these 5 categories, out of all the categories possible, through a research method called factor analysis. So they basically took information about hundreds of different personality traits and figured out which of these traits tend to go together in individuals. And then they used those patterns they found to narrow down that huge set of traits to just 5 major ones. Hence the term the Big Five. And this theory is also called the 5-factor model. So the Big Five personality traits include openness to experience, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. And these can be remembered using the handy acronym of OCEAN, or CANOE if you prefer. So let's go ahead and jump in and just talk about each one. So extroversion. You may have heard people talking about extroverted versus introverted people. And that's the same idea as this extroversion trait. So someone scoring high on this trait is going to be an outgoing, very social, probably talkative person. They're going to have high energy usually and tend to have more of a positive outlook. And at their base, at their core, they really seek the company and attention of other people. And that is where they're most kind of happy. In comparison, we have people who score low on the extroversion scale, and you'd call them introverted people. They're more reserved in social situations. They probably are shy around new people, potentially, or they kind of crave alone time, definitely more than extroverted people will. Next, we have agreeableness. So someone high on the agreeableness trait will be very agreeable with other people. So they're going to be friendly, cooperative, they're going to work well with others. Also, they're going to be kind of trusting of other people and care a lot about people, compassionate. And they're also going to be generally well-tempered, which just means they're usually in a good mood. And sometimes, though, if you're very high in agreeableness, you can also be perceived as somewhat submissive to other people. Because if you're just trying to get along with everybody, sometimes you don't assert yourself as much as someone else might. People low on the agreeableness scale, they tend to be more competitive. They're not as trusting of other people, and so they can tend to antagonize others, which means that they not make an enemy out of them, which is what the definition would say, but more like they tend to alienate other people. So yeah, if you're low on agreeableness, you don't get along with people as well. Conscientiousness. So someone high on conscientiousness is going to be organized, efficient, and a dependable person. Their friends can depend on them. They'll get their work done on time, stuff like that. They'll also be kind of self-aware, meaning that they'll be kind of in control of their life. They'll know what they need, what they want, stuff like that. And sometimes someone high on conscientiousness can also be seen as a little obsessive, you know. They just, they have to have their desk just so, they have to have their room just so, they have to do something their way. And they can be seen as stubborn, too, which kind of goes along with that. Someone low on conscientiousness, they are seen as more spontaneous. But they're also seen as more careless, usually. They're not as dependable. They're more easygoing, they're more flexible, but they're not going to be as organized as someone scoring high on this trait. Next, we have neuroticism. So this is the most negatively tinted trait, you could say, out of all 5 of them. If you score high on neuroticism, it's associated with generally negative life outcomes, actually. So someone who's high in neuroticism is emotionally unstable. This doesn't mean that they're crazy, but it means that they can kind of have a lot of mood swings. They can easily become angry, anxious, or depressed. They're quicker to get to those negative emotions than other people might be. Someone scoring high on this can also be seen as having a dynamic personality, excitable, kind of all over the place. So someone scoring low on neuroticism is, in comparison, they're emotionally stable, they're calm, they're more just in control of their emotions. But sometimes that can be seen as unimaginative or kind of an unexciting personality. And lastly, we have openness to experience. So I save this for last because it's kind of the most undefined trait out of all 5 of these. It's the one that psychologists are a little unsure about still. It's hard to tell what types of things are associated with this trait because it mixes together a lot of different types of features. So someone high on openness to experience. It's associated with a high degree of creativity, intellectual curiosity, and openness and appreciation for novelty and variety, meaning they love new things, they want to try new things, they're open to different ideas, different points of view, all those things. They tend to seek self-actualization and intense experiences. So they want to just experience all that life has to offer, really. But a negative side of being very high on openness to experience is they can be unpredictable and they can have a lack of focus in life. Someone low on openness to experience is generally more down-to-earth, more practical. They don't have their head in the clouds, so to speak. But sometimes they're going to be closed-minded. They're not going to be open to other people's ideas. They're not going to be open to new experiences. Okay, so those are the big 5 personality traits. I hope you've learned a little bit today, and I hope you can remember these 5 using the acronym of OCEAN or CANOE.